CNN entertainment correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister is here with more on her exclusive reporting. Elizabeth, tell us what you're learning.
We have learned from two sources that potential witnesses have been contacted and notified by federal investigators that they may be called to testify.
In a lawsuit filed yesterday, former star Adria English claims she was trapped in a cycle of trafficking she never asked to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
When we drink, I felt, I felt so because I was paid as a stripper at Lyrical. I know what it takes to be drunk. I felt way more up.
Sean Combs was once on a glide path to becoming a billionaire. But as allegations, which Combs has denied, continue to mount, business partners have fled, and his brands have become increasingly worthless. And the worst news may be yet to come.
50 Cent sells Diddy doc to Netflix after bidding war. Hey, I'm gonna put it like this, I'm gonna watch it. I think it's something that we all should watch, And look, it's something that there are reasons why the industry is so quiet right now, too.
Diddy Combs is in hot water once more following CNN's release of Cassie's footage. Since then, the music mogul company has faced nothing but trouble. To further complicate matters, additional footage and lawsuits have surfaced, revealing just how big of a criminal Diddy was and still is. The evidence in these legal battles is astounding, and even Diddy's most ardent supporters find it difficult to defend him. Most recently, Diddy was sued by an adult film star who worked at his well-known Labor Day white parties. Adria English filed a lawsuit on July 3rd, claiming that she began working for Combs in 2004 and was gradually coerced into human trafficking. According to her lawsuit, during her first year of employment at the now-famous party in Miami, there was no requirement for physical sexual contact or sinister intent, and it seemed like a legitimate job opportunity. She returned the following year and the year after, but it was at that third party that Diddy allegedly demanded she engage in sexual intercourse with party members. In May of this year, April Lampros filed a lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of battery. She claims that Combs promised to mentor her and showered her with gifts when she met him in 1994 while she was a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology. She also claims that up until the 2000s, she had 4 terrifying encounters with the producer, SL Rapper. The first incident is said to have happened in 1995 when Combs took her to a hotel, and Lampros claims months later, Combs forced her. She claims that in '96, Lampros claims that Combs forced her and his ex-girlfriend, who also happens to be the mother of 4 of his children, to take ecstasy and have a sexual encounter in which Combs allegedly enjoyed himself. After that, Lampros claims that the 4th incident happened in a parking lot where Combs allegedly forced her to perform an oral on him happened in the end of 2000 while Combs was dating Jennifer Lopez. Years later, at an event in 2023, Lampros alleges a guy told the person she was with about a video he had seen of Lampros and Combs that had been recorded without her permission 2 days before Lampros's lawsuit was filed. Crystal McKinn filed a lawsuit against Diddy as well. According to the lawsuit, McKenna met Diddy at a New York Fashion Week event when she was a 22-year-old model. Later that same night, she claims she met Combs at a studio where he gave her a laced joint and alcohol. After the alleged assault, McKenna believes Combs blackmailed her out of the modeling industry. She even attempted suicide. Additionally, there is the Rodney Jones Jr. lawsuit, which was filed in federal court in February of this year, accusing Combs and his associates' business in his lawsuit. Jones states that Combs contacted him in 2022 to assist with songwriting on his most recent album, but Jones maintains that the labor included far more than just him creating the songs, asserts his duties included obtaining medicines and recruiting laborers. In December of 2023, a woman filed a lawsuit under the name Jane Doe, accusing Combs of grabbing Jones against his will and forcing him to work while the latter paraded around. Jones further claims that Combs would frequently threaten to harm him physically if he didn't comply with his demands. Doe claims that when she was just 17 years old, Combs and former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre gauged and trafficked her. In the 11th grade, she claimed to have met Pierre in a Detroit lounge where he told her he was best friends with Combs. Doe says Combs then persuaded her to board a private jet with Pierre and a third assailant to travel to New York City. She further claims that when she was brought to Combs' studio, Combs, Pierre, and the third assailant gave her drugs and alcohol, which led to Combs Pierre ganging the studio. Combs and Pierre have refuted the accusations made against them. Lee, a gardener, filed a lawsuit in November 2023 against Combs and R&B artist Aaron Hall, claiming that the two had forced her to have an affair against her will when she was 16. Lee also claimed that she had met Hall during a Jodic album release party. The day after, the gardener alleges that Combs came to her home and started choking her to the point that she passed out. Gardner claims that Combs invited her and her friend to Hall's apartment in New York City for an after-party, and it was there that Combs allegedly coerced her into having with him in the suit. Gardner claimed she was getting dressed after Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and allegedly forced her to have with him. Dickerson Neal claims she went out to dinner with the rapper and producer in January 1991 after they met through their appearance in a music video while she was a Syracuse University student. Dickerson Neal claims that during their date, the rapper drugged and sexually assaulted her and recorded the incident. After learning that he and other guys had seen the video, she claims that her life fell apart and that, upon returning to college, she was hospitalized due to extreme depression and suicide thoughts. This revelation came to her attention a few days later via a male acquaintance.
I think the music industry is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet. And I know somebody personally, and I'm not even going to go into details, that did one of the biggest hits of Biggie's career. And he told me when he sent the beat to Puffy, he just stole it from him. So just from the amount, how you doing business, you cannot do business that way and expect for you to continue to be successful, because eventually it will come back. So we always heard about, you know, from that standpoint of view, just doing people dirty, you know, just sneaking people for money. And every evil thing you can think of, they just, you know what I mean? So that's sad, because when you come from our background and we get into the music industry, for example, and they start becoming these CEOs, the first thing they start talking about, man, we're gonna do our own record company because we tired of the white man stealing from us, you know what I mean? And then you get these black CEOs, they come do the same exact thing to black artists. Yeah, so you keep seeing that cycle where you like, that's why the music industry, I always say, is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet, because, you know, everybody's out for themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's out for themselves. So the same thing they complain that the white, you know, CEOs are doing, the black CEOs do it to the same thing to the artists. You know?
So when you see the situation that Diddy in right now, right, you not surprised?
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, you just always heard he was cutthroat. I'm surprised he survived that long. I used to say, well, you know, he you know, he probably rubbing shoulders with the people, those, you know, I don't get into that conspiracy, Illuminati and stuff like that where people start saying it, but I definitely believe that it's, in the music industry, there's some higher people that's very corrupt and evil. And I remember when we first, and I didn't really understand it, but when we first, like the time that I first met Pac, we was in a group called Dramacidal. We went from being Young Thugs to Dramacidal, then we became the Outlaws. And I remember when Pac was locked up and we would go visit him, and he was telling us that, because when we were Dramacidal before the Outlaws, we had a quick record deal with Interscope Records. And I remember when Pac used to say stuff, he was like, I swear to God, he used to say, you know, you're gonna go meet this person at Interscope, and you know, they devils. I didn't really understand what he meant by that. He's like, but you know, you gotta play it right, and you know, they gonna give us a record deal, but they just straight devils, you know what I mean? So, and now I understand. These people cutthroat, you know what I mean? You don't see no CEO, if you look at any rap record, the CEOs from these rap records, they not part of our community. Meaning that they come from a different background than us. Most of them are ran by certain individuals. And what happened is they never give back to the community. You never heard of the CEO of Interscope Records, the CEO of Sony Records. These people making billions of dollars off of black music. You never heard them once say, let's open up a school in the black community. Let's give healthcare to the rappers. Let's go open up community centers for the black people. But they taking all this money. You understand? When an individual died, have you ever heard of a record company that paid for a funeral of a dead rapper? besides Suge Knight, Suge paid, you know, when Pac put it in his will, he wanted to cremate it. Suge paid $1 million to cremate him. But these people, so now when I think back and when Pac was calling them devils, it's like these people are really devils. They just out for money. They don't care who die in the process. They don't care what happens in the process. They don't care who lives are destroyed, as long as that money coming in.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. But for me, right, when I look at the situation, I look at it like karma. You know, he finally getting everything back that he got away with from back then, and, you know.
Arrogance, you gotta humble yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, like, you can't carry yourself with that arrogance as if you're untouchable, because the creator of the heavens and the earth can destroy you 1 second. And maybe he's saying that now. Sometimes people be thinking they're untouchable because they get away with certain things so much, and they get careless and they get arrogant. And I think that's what he's going through.
If you believe that Diddy's scandals are new, you're completely incorrect. It turns out that trafficking was going on behind the scenes at even his well-known events. This isn't a recent scandal. Rather, it's a long-standing problem that has been going on for years.
Diddy has always been known for his big white parties where a bunch of celebrities show out, but now we're learning the truth about what happened at these disturbing parties. An adult star has come forward and claimed that they were trafficked at one of Diddy's parties. Diddy has been under a federal investigation for human trafficking, so this isn't a great look for him. It's like another one to add to the list. In a lawsuit filed in New York, a former adult film star, Adria English, claimed that the rapper and CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment forced her into prostitution and sex work with guests at his annual white party. So at these parties, I guess he would force these people, like Adria English, to go and hook up with these celebrities. Now, Adria claims this happened between the years 2006 through 2009 and happened both in the Hamptons and in Miami. She was, quote, made to engage in illicit narcotics and alcohol use while employed by Diddy.
In a lawsuit filed yesterday, former star Adria English claims she was trapped in a cycle of trafficking she never asked to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
There's absolutely no reason any boss should be forcing any employee to do any substances, let alone, I mean, hiring someone to then force them to sleep with people. I mean, that's just so icky and gross, and I'm glad that this woman's coming forward. We've heard of this cycle before when talking about Diddy. These people who are promised careers, modeling gigs, you know, music record labels, and they aren't given anything. They're given these false promises, and when they don't deliver, then Diddy blacklists them. Adria claims that she first met the disgraced rapper in 2004 after her then boyfriend auditioned for a Sean John modeling gig. Adria claimed that her partner and another model were asked to perform orally on Diddy in order to get the job, which they allegedly refused. So it looks like Adria's boyfriend was told, hey, if you want to get this modeling gig with Diddy, you gotta suck him off. Despite their alleged refusal, Adria claimed that her partner was given a second chance if she agreed to work as a go-go dancer at one of Diddy's white parties. And she showed up and she did her job. I mean, here she is at the white party in the Hamptons back in 2004. So we got some proof that she was in fact there. Here's a clip of Adria explaining how she got involved with Diddy.
Long story short, my ex, Anthony Gallo, goes in the room and he comes out yelling, that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll talk to you in the elevator. And we get to the elevator, he's like, try to ask me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Diddy. I said, that. But then after that, he booked him anyway because I agreed to dance at the white party.
Major red flags. I mean, of course her boyfriend was appalled by the idea, but then she kind of sacrificed herself so that he could get that job. Now, in the legal documents, Adria explains that when she first started working for Diddy, there was, quote, no sinister intent or requirements for physical contact, and it seemed to be a legitimate employment opportunity. So when she was invited to come back the following year to work again, she accepted it. It was easy money. She was at the white party, tons of celebrities. She didn't have to do anything icky yet. However, she says around the third party she worked that Diddy demanded that she begin engaging in intercourse with guests, as they had learned about her past in the entertainment industry and used it against her. She goes on to state that her memories of some of the details are hazy due to the fact that she was expected to consume copious amounts of alcohol and illicit narcotics. However, the documents add that the encounters that she was forced to endure were so excruciating that Adria remembers them as they still haunt her to this day, which that is horrific. That's PTSD, that's trauma. That is also a survivor coming forward and standing up for herself.
You and Diddy, what was the situation between both of y'all? Because I know he made some comments to you that you wasn't fond of, right?
He tried to play me, okay? This is when I knew he was out of his mind, like, you know what I mean? Basically, to make a long story short, I was messing with this chick, just started messing with her, you know what I mean? Knocked her down a couple times, a model chick, you know what I mean? At the time, I remember she was sharing an apartment with a famous actor's mother, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, she's not my girl or nothing like that, you know what I mean? I probably had a girl at the time, you understand? Let's keep it real. But I knocked her down a couple times. And so now we're out in LA. We're at the Palladium. Big party, mad people's there, all these celebrities is there, people are performing, you know what I mean? Mad LA people is there, mad people from New York is there. This was like the super party. Like it was a very good party. So I'm in there, and then I see Shorty in there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if all else fails, I have some imported here in the party. You know what I mean? And because, you know, back then, the are always looking for something new. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're always looking for something new. So, even though she was there, I'm still hunting. But I'm thinking, I got her on deck. So I don't think nothing of it. Then, your man Puff comes up to me. And he's like, yo, Playboy. First of all, I don't like all this Playboy shit. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? He calls a lot of people Playboy. Like, yo, Playboy. Yo, I told homegirl to go with you tonight. That's what he says to me. He said, I told her to go with you tonight. So right now, he's trying to let me know that he with the too. You know what I mean? He with the broad too. I don't want to call her. He the broad too. B, he's trying to act like he has more power over her than me, right? Because by saying I told her to go with you is like saying, like, if you wanted her to go with you and I said no, she'd go with me. You know what I mean? And so I'm just kind of looking at this like, he really lost his mind. You know what I mean? Like, because in my mind, I'm the king of broads at this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the king of broads at this time. And I had been the king of broads before being famous. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I knew this guy from Mount Vernon, and he was not the king of broads coming up. So for him to talk to me like this is just mind-boggling to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he's really feeling himself. Like, he's really thinking, you know, this whole, because I don't even know if he was bad boy Puffy yet. He might have still been like MCA Puffy, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, he's wilding. And so I was just kind of like looking at him crazy, and I don't know what I said. I feel like I might have just been like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then I just walked away from him, and I just left the broad in there. I didn't, like, I'm gonna be, oh yeah, Puffy said you can come with me. I was like, this broad. You know what I mean? Bag me something else, and I never spoke to the broad again. You know what I mean? But right at that moment, and then upon reflection, it makes me think about some of the things you read in these depositions and all of that about somebody that feels like they're controlling and all of that. You see, he thought he had control over the broad, more control over me. And it's like, listen, if I wanted to put my meat hooks in the broad, I could have did that, but I didn't even want to do that. Like, but I just feel like he tried to flex on me, you know what I mean? And it was like, please, like, cut it out. You know what I mean? But to me, that was the mark of, in my mind, of, yeah, this was the beginning of when he started going crazy. You see what I'm saying? When he first approached me like that, oh yeah, you was losing your mind. You was losing your mind. And on another note, I thought about this later when we're hearing all this, you know, bisexual shit. He could have been trying to set up a play where he thought we was gonna have something in common. Like, yo, I told her to go with you. And then he see me another time, yo, you had fun that night, Playboy? Yo, we should come to my crib. And we'll run a train order or something like that. See what I'm saying? That's how. Come on, man. You see? And now they try. And now a real goof ass. Oh, Puffy invited me to the mansion to run a train on a girl. Like, you think I'm stupid? Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Could have been a. You know what I mean? Motivation too. Like, maybe he didn't think he was playing me. Maybe he thought he was planting the seed for us to have this broad in common. I don't know. But I felt like he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? And either way, he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't feeling that, and out of here.
You think he wanted them dudes that only got females because he started to get money?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't remember seeing him with a bunch of broads back in Mount Vernon high school days and all that. You know what I mean? The first bad broad I seen him with was Misa, and I was kind of like, damn, how he get her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even really understand how he got her, like, you know? Because Misa was definitely bad back in the days, in Mount Vernon and like that. But prior to that, he was just one of those that danced in the parties, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just a dancing, like, you know what I mean? Like, with these bushy eyebrows, I think they connected at the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he wasn't a live nigga, like, put it that way.
Things seem to be about to become quite interesting. Guess who just acquired the rights to this show? 50 Cent said that he has been working on a documentary series that will further expose Diddy's alleged misdeeds. Netflix.
50 Cent has not been keeping quiet about all of the drama and accusations flying around about P Diddy. In fact, his company, G Unit, has produced a multi-part documentary which has just been sold to Netflix after a legit bidding war. I think the best part, however, is him sharing TMZ's cover story about this and the caption he wrote. He wrote, TMZ used this fat boy picture of me because their documentary went to Tubi, LOL. It's okay, guys, we're all making great television. Mine just happens to be the best. Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm gonna need to make more episodes. This is the post that 50 Cent came out with after P Diddy's apology. He said, this is not going to work. Who's advising him right now? SMH, bad move. He's also made a bit of a dig at Jay-Z. Jay in hibernation. He ain't coming outside till the with puffs blows over. No lunch, no brunch, no dinner, LOL. I'm all you got outside.
Diddy's terrible conduct was the subject of rumblings for years, and there were simultaneous raids and a huge display of force. I am aware of what has caused a startling collapse.
50 Cent has been hyping up his Diddy documentary for months, and the project just landed a prestigious new home. Multiple sources familiar with the situation say 50's multi-part documentary about the SA suits against Diddy was purchased by Netflix. We're told there was a massive bidding war over the doc, which was produced through 50's G Unit Film and Television Studios, with multiple networks and all of the streaming platforms attempting to land the series. Diddy was hit with another civil lawsuit Tuesday with model Crystal McKinney. She came forward with evidence after 2016 security footage of Diddy putting his paws on Cassie in a hotel hallway surfaced Friday. Cassie previously filed suit against Diddy and settled out of court 1 day later. Diddy at first called the suits a shakedown, but later apologized.
50 Cent like he finna make a whole documentary about P Diddy. He gonna call it Diddy Do It.
Yo,
Did Diddy do it?
It's going platinum in the streets. Everybody gonna watch that. Everybody gotta watch that. That's why.
You think he gonna really do it?
I don't think he gonna really do it, but I think if it's a real shot that he gets access to the rights,
to the footage,
and he can get people to do the interviews, he's definitely doing it. That's a gold mine. You're gonna get at least 10 million viewers per episode with that.
And then might as well do it and get the money instead of letting, you feel me, the other side get the money.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
help the brother man, not the other man around this
go ahead and let him get it.
Yeah, we might be produced. No, I don't want to be involved in none of that freaky ass.
I don't want to be involved in it. So if you're watching this and you are making a Diddy documentary, I need you to know that I do not want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Not in front of the camera, not behind the camera. No, not me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on camera tearing another black man down like that. Cause I was watching the TMZ one on Tubi, and it was just, they did him dirty. They did him just like R. Kelly. I'm like, oh man, these other folks will tear your ass down when they got the opportunity.
But this is the thing. I just want the testimony of the people. Like his old bodyguard, Eugene or whatever, has been talking. He talked about the time Diddy's arm was in a sling because he was beating on Kim, and then Kim stabbed him. His ex, Kim, said she stabbed him with a corkscrew.
Yeah.
And that's why his arm was in a sling. Okay. People had to know that, bro. They had if they heard that story, then they know he was abusing her, know that she fought back, stabbed him with a corkscrew. He ain't the only person he said he had heard that the one baby mama had ran from Diddy. He was beating on her so bad that she had to get underneath a car to escape.
Yeah, I seen that. You gotta think about it, bro. People used to get in fights in the neighborhood growing up, and everybody know who used to win or lose a fight, and everybody wasn't there. And that's just local shit. So imagine what the whole industry know. Diddy been whooping these hoes. I love everybody.
These have to know, bro. Ain't no way these don't know, bro. So, and you telling me he don't never discuss it? He been beating women up since 91. Ain't discussed it with no. He ain't with the no. He like, hey, I had to beat this up, man.
Yeah.
Talking crazy. He ain't said that to no.
Cause men that hit women love to brag about it. I've been around some that be like, I had to slap out this earlier. You be like, oh shit, damn, he really be hitting women. And then you be like, all right, let me mind my business. Let me go mind my business.
I just want motherfuckers to be consistent. Cause there's motherfuckers out here attacking Diddy right now who got somebody in their camp slapping bitches.
Exactly.
So it's like
now to make, and then I don't like how they make it like Cassie just 100% victim. Her freaky ass participating in all these Jesus shit too. You don't gotta do nothing.
That was my thing, but this is the thing, you can't go there because one, they gonna call you a victim blamer. You know what I mean? Because they don't believe two things can be true at once. They can't believe, Lewis, that you're able to see that Diddy is doing some awful shit and is making people do shit.
50 Cent has to be one of the biggest trolls of all time. So earlier today, TMZ announced that 50 Cent officially sold his documentary on Diddy. The documentary is called Diddy Do It, and it's sold to Netflix for a couple $1 million. By the way, this has to be one of the craziest titles he could have possibly picked. This is the cover art for the documentary. 50 also said if more victims come forward, he's definitely gonna release more episodes. Making a bag off of your op has to be some diabolical work. As of now, there is no release date, but I'm sure we'll hear about one soon. This is crazy, man. What y'all think about this?
In the comments section below, please share your thoughts on whether Diddy should be imprisoned anytime soon. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button to ensure that you never miss any updates. Until then, family, keep it real.